What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy AyeThatsAaron, and we are back at again another Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash video. Because, ladies and gentlemen, today we received a lot of crazy information over the span of the week when it comes to scans, character breakdowns, attack descriptions, the whole 9 yards, y'all. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, man. Please just let me know if you guys enjoy this kind of content, because I really love doing this myself. And if you guys want these scans in HD and stuff like that for you to make your own videos or be able to use for your own thumbnails, please join my Discord server. The link is going to be in the description, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, let's get into this, shall we? First, before we talk about anything, I want to say thank you guys for getting me to 7K here on YouTube. Bro, it means a lot to me, honestly. I'm very happy that you guys enjoy my content like that, and the fact that I'm at 7K now just really put a fire in my belly. And it's just like, you know what? Your boy Aaron wants to go crazy. So, you know, we're going to go crazy with the content, okay? But enough about me talking about how happy I am, because I am grateful to you guys. We're going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, in the intro of the video, we got a lot of new information when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash, specifically the scans that we received and stuff like that. Now, the scans that we got over the past week, they specifically focus on attacks, right? It focuses on different type of attacks, you know, like, you know, in the previous video we talked about awakening attacks, co-op attacks, so on and so forth. And these new scans, they basically elaborate upon it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Like I do with every single video, if you guys are new to this video, basically Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash is a anime game that was recently just confirmed to be a 2v2 focused arena fighting kind of game. It's very interesting because we don't really get that many 2v2 kind of arena fighting games like that, and it's very open. The maps look very big, by the way. I like that a lot. The developers are Biking are the same people who who is working on currently My Hero Ultra Rumble, and also were the ones who worked on My Hero One's Justice 1 and One's Justice 2. So far, what we got from our previous scans is the fact that we're gonna have at least 15 characters in the game. We're gonna have a number of characters. We also learned that most of these characters kind of fit in a specific role / typing that we found very interesting in the scans, and basically everyone has their own unique abilities and gimmicks with each character. So basically that is the dry run of what we got specifically going on currently up to date in this video. If you want to know what I'm talking about in more detail, I have other videos that I have posted about that. Go look them up on my channel. I'm probably going to link them in the description. But ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about the new scans, which are going to be talking about the different types of typings, the different type of attacks that will be in the game, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm about to put the scan on screen, and we're going to read it together so you guys can understand what we're talking about, okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so there are different types of attack. There are specifically 4 different types of attack, apparently. And so we're going to look at the scans, but let's read the description first to get a better understanding of what those 4 types are. It says right here, there are 4 types of attack: planned attacks, co-op attacks, which raise your curse level. Once your curse level has been raised enough, you can deal damage to an enemy with curse and awakening attacks. Although planned attacks don't damage the enemy, but co-op attacks will. Now that kind of sounds a little confusing, so let me break it down to you guys a little bit so you guys can understand, okay? So planned attacks will basically be the normal attacks. So you guys remember in one of our previous videos we talked about how normal attacks do not do damage to an enemy, right? The only damage that can be done will be the cursed attacks, right? Those are going to be the ones that are going to be amped up to, I'm assuming that it's going to be basically cursed attacks that will both build your curse meter but also drain your curse meter, and you need to find a middle ground between them. That's what it's basically talking about, right? So we have normal attack, which will be these quote-unquote planned attacks. Curse attacks will be the attacks that you use your curse energy into. Then we have the co-op attacks, or essentially team ultimates, which will go into a whole cinematic that we'll talk about in a second. Then we also have awakened attack, which is basically like your ultimate jutsu, or how do I say ultimate jutsu? Your ultimate attack basically in the game. So I think that's pretty cool. So like I said, planned attacks will plant attacks will be the normal attacks. Curse attacks will be the curse attacks that you will need to help build your curse gauge. Now, I'm not sure how that's going to work if you're going to use curse ability with your attack to both build your meter and also take away from your meter. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm very interested to see them elaborate upon that, because that kind of trips me up a little bit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the co-op attacks. Now, if you remember in the previous video, we talked about how we got a confirmation that my boy Itadori and Nobara have their own co-op attack. Basically, their team attack, which was that scene whenever they fought the two brothers on that bridge, and it looked pretty sick. You know what I'm saying? I'll put it up on screen. You know, it looks kind of cool. And I'll put a little bit of the reference of the anime in there as well. You know what I'm saying? Just so you guys can have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. This section in the scan says the following: after hitting enemies with specific attacks, your partner character can help join and perform a combination attack. If the attack hits, it will deal massive damage to the opponent and raise your team member's curse level by 1 block. Synchronize your breathing with your partners, then go in for the kill. I think that's interesting because, like, okay, so it's a block system. Okay, I kind of get behind that. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was gonna be like one of those like slow meter charging systems, like probably like Naruto Storm, like the Storm franchise. But the fact that it's block, I'm thinking more of like how it is in Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles. But you know, I don't know. But yes, it will help build your curse meter if you and your teammate activates a co-op attack. And they also proceed to confirm another co-op attack. My boy Itadori and Fushiguro have their own co-op attack. That's kind of hard, honestly. So now we have a confirmation. My boy Itadori and Nobara have a co-op attack, and Itadori and Fushiguro have a co-op attack. Now, based off descriptions from the scans by Shonen Games, it's kind of difficult to tell if this is like an ultimate cinematic kind of thing, or if it's more of like just like a neat little combo reference thing. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really have any gameplay yet. I feel like a lot of these things that we're getting from these scans are going to come from a trailer that we're going to get soon. But you know, it's whatever. It also proceeds to say right here, if your co-op attack makes contact with the enemy, a unique cutscene will play out. Team up with specific characters to see unique special pre-attack scenes. As you can see above with the Nobara and Itadori, some character scenes will be created directly from the pages of the manga. Choose your favorite combination of characters and enjoy all the unique scenes available. I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know, you know, what other ones we're gonna get really, because not that many characters really work together like that, except for the main cast. So I don't know. I don't want it to be like a thing that they're only taking from the anime and manga. I want to see some, you know, some real imagination. But at the same time, it's biking. Biking always snaps when it comes to the imagination, so I don't have to worry about that. I trust them a lot. Next, we're going to be talking about the characters and basically their specialties, because there's a section at the bottom of the page where it talks about characters and their specialties. And as you guys can see, it has the whole roster currently confirmed right there on the bottom of the screen. And it has a range. It says close range specialists to mid to far range specialists, and then it has characters that are all range. So like I said in my previous video, I was kind of on the nose when it comes to some of these characters. So Itadori, Maki, Inumaki, and Panda will be close range characters. Now, what I mentioned in my previous videos are that they might have some specific little buffs that come with it. Now, Inumaki, I think Inumaki, of course, will be a close range specialist kind of character, but his curse speech will be some range type abilities. But I don't know. I guess it just depends on how it's going to work, because you can't have a speech user be up in that person's face to use the speech. I feel like that'd be a very big nerf, but I don't know. I trust them. I think they'll know what to do. For the mid range, we got my boy Fushiguro, Todo, and Nanami. Now, Fushiguro, Todo, and Nanami, I'm not very surprised on them being mid range characters. Todo I kind of find interesting being a mid-range character because he does throw the hands a lot, but I think when they say mid-range character, when they're talking about Todo, I think they're talking about the Boogie Woogie. I think that Todo's Boogie Woogie isn't going to be like one of those things where it's like long distance. I think you're going to have to be in the vicinity of Todo for you to be able to use it. Even in one of the screenshots, it didn't even look like Todo was too far from the opponent to swap places with them. So I don't know. I think it'd be very interesting. Fushiguro makes sense, you know. I don't think his animal summonings are going to be like running around the map, you know what I'm saying, causing damage, getting kills, because then he'll be a broken character, so that makes sense. Now, Nanami, on the other hand, is on the very right, more on the very right side of the mid-range, and I think that they're going to be a little bit more, I keep saying Nanami, it's Hanami, I'm tripping. Hanami is more on closer to the far-range specialist. Hanami makes sense because of the flowers and the abilities that individual has. So I foresaw that. I kind of guessed that in the video, and I still believe that we're probably going to get some buffs and debuffs kind of effect with their abilities. Now, far range specialists, we have Nobata and we have Jogo. Now, those aren't surprising. I kind of saw them coming for the jump, especially, well, see, for Jogo, it was kind of interesting. I still think Jogo is going to be like a powerful character. He's just going to have range type abilities. I don't know. So far, how the system is looking, it seems very intricate, and I feel like we'll get a better understanding when we get our next trailer. But yes, Nobata and Jogo are going to be on the farther right where it says far range specialist. And then finally, we have Gojo and Sukuna, who are described as all range. Obviously, that makes sense because they are both very powerful characters. Even my boy Gojo's abilities, red, blue, hollow purple, those are ranged abilities that are going to do damage. And the way hollow purple sounds is going to be a crazy ability. Plus, whenever my boy Gojo gets his awakening or whatever going on, he takes no damage. Like, come on now, it's going to be crazy. Sukuna, that also makes sense because he's going to be a very deadly, dangerous character. And I think that his whole thing was the fact that he's able to attack allies with his abilities, so you're going to be cautious with the way you play with my boy Sukuna. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we're moving this video on to the awakening attacks. If you guys do not remember from my previous video, I talked about the awakening attacks will basically be an awakening attack that will bust out into a crazy cinematic, which will do massive damage, but you'll only be able to do that once per game. So I'm assuming it's going to be their ultimate abilities that you can't spam. You're only going to be able to knock that baby out one time, which I think is pretty cool. So I think how the game is going to go is I think you're going to be able to do co-op attacks a little bit more than usual. And you just won't be able to use the awakening attacks that much. But you know, let's talk about what's on the skin. It says right here, deal devastating damage to your enemies with a awakening attack. Crush your opponents with a awakening attack once your curse level reaches max. But remember, you can only use this attack once per battle. There are also awaken attacks that power up your character too, so don't go wasting these attacks. So you can either get an ultimate or a buff. I think it's pretty cool. And then in the skin, it shows a few characters' awakening attacks and it explains it. So we're gonna go through each one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna stay on it for too long. I'm gonna just read the description and talk about the character. Yo, so for my boy Yuji Ichidori, it says 4 times Black Flash, an attack that pressures the opponent with 4 back-to-back Black Flashes, recreated when Yuji had to take on Hanami. Okay, that makes sense. That they're gonna just basically, that is his ultimate that they got from the scene from the anime. That makes sense, actually. The next one is Nobata. It says the Straw Doll Technique Hairpin, a remote attack where Nobata stabs the enemy with a nail and then flows cursed energy through the opponent. It's essential to plan ahead and time when to release the cursed energy. So I think that's probably gonna be one of those abilities where you throw the hairpin in there, but it won't activate until you want to delay it a little bit. I think it's pretty cool. I always like the ones that you can control when you want that delay to pop out. So yeah, so that's what that's going to be like. Maki Zenin. Maki says a playful cloud performance. Once Maki's physical meter reaches its max, Maki can use the attack to bring out her cursed weapon, Playful Cloud, and then beat the hell out of her enemies. And I'm assuming Playful Cloud, it looks like sort of nunchucks kind of thing. I don't know. We've probably seen it like her use that thing in the anime before, so I had to go through some digging. For Inumaki, it says stop and crush. With his curse speech, Toji says stop and halt the enemy in their tracks, followed by a crush, which will deal significant damage to them. That's kind of clean, actually. I hope it's a really dope-ass cinematic. Next, we have Panda, which is the Gorilla Combo. A high-damage attack where Panda enters Gorilla mode, beats the enemy into a pulp, and then launches them far into the air. Okay. Nice launcher. That's what we like to see here. Next, it says, we will show you Sukuna, Gojo, and Fushiguro's really awesome awakening attacks another time. Y'all always want us to wait for these scans, man. But you know what? I like it. It's okay. So far, when it comes to the characters that we've had confirmed for a minute, this is what their awakening attacks sound like or look like. I think that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Again, we're not fully sure on how the whole meter system is going to work, but I think it's pretty cool that these characters are having their own ultimates on top of the curse attacks, the planned attacks, and the co-op attacks. Now, I've been asked by several people if we think we're going to get domain expansions in the game. That's a good question because so far the characters that have been confirmed, we have not seen. Basically, the characters whose awakening attacks have been confirmed have not used domain expansion in the anime yet, so I'm not sure. I think that that's kind of why they're saving Sukuna, Fushiguro, and Gojo, because I feel like, I have a strong feeling that is kind of what their thing is going to be like. I think their thing is their awakening attacks are going to be their domain expansions, but I don't know, because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because with Fushiguro, his special attacks are his summoning, and he can still use, you know, his summonings. It only makes sense for his ultimate to be that rough domain expansion he used in the anime. For For Gojo, Hollow Purple is one of his attacks, but this is before they even confirmed that Hollow Purple. This is even before they even confirmed that Awakening attacks were in the game. So I think Hollow Purple is going to be what happens whenever his gauge is charged to the max, but I don't think it's going to be Awakening attack. And Sukuna, hands down, I think it's going to be his domain expansion. I don't know how it's going to work in the game, but I think they're going to have domain expansions in the game. Next, we're going to talk about the 3 other characters that were just recently confirmed and talk about their Awakening attacks. So first, we're going to talk about my boy Todo. This is for Todo, a simple but effective technique. Todo uses the power of his Boogie Woogie technique. It's important that he teams up with anyone he calls his best friend. And it has a little picture of, like, you know, what it looks like. I don't know what they mean by that. But I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to do with that, honestly. I wonder if my boy Todo is going to be one of them characters where he's going to have a co-op attack with everybody. But I'm not 100% sure, because this whole thing is, you know, having that closeness, that friendship, that dynamic with someone for him to work with them like that. Like how he did with Itadori, so I don't know, that'd be very cool. Next, we got Jogo. It says Jogo can control the flow of battle due to his great movement options, burn his enemies with range flame curse techniques, and then deal the final blow. I think this was previously in the last game, but I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. But then we got that little picture of my boy Jogo with the little bugs that he has. Next, we have Hanami. It says Hanami is a grounded character that can summon and control various types of plants. If Hanami's awakening attack hits the character, their left arm will be unleashed, dramatically increasing Hanami's power. I don't know how that's going to work for Hanami. Like I said, I still believe that Hanami's whole thing is going to be buffs and debuffs, so I'm very excited to see how that's going to play out. And this is kind of interesting. I don't know if it means anything to anyone, but at the bottom of the scan right here, it says one of the latest playable characters, Jogo, was one of the first characters to be implemented into the game, and apparently he is popular across the development team. Well done, Jogo. I think they're going to show Jogo some favoritism. I think he's probably going to be an insane character, and I'm very interested to see how they're going to do with my boy like that, honestly. Love this game so much. Finally, the last things that we're going to get into, which comes from like these little character info cards that I got from one of the pages on Twitter. I'm going to put it up on screen. So far, we only got one for Itadori and got one for Fushiguro. So let me read you guys what we got going on here. So for Itadori, it says Curse Technique, Divergent Fist, and then Potential Ability, High Geared. A melee puncher categorized by his latent abilities that demonstrate excellent physicality. I don't know what that means, but the potential ability sounds kind of interesting. I think the potential ability will be that side buff that I was talking to you guys about. Like how Gojo had the invulnerability, I think Itadori's high gear ability will probably be him being able to bust out black flashes and get that speed buff. You remember, it previously said that my boy Itadori can get that speed buff whenever his stuff hits a specific point. So I think that's what they're referring to for Itadori. Next, we got Fushiguro. It says Curse Technique, 10 Shadows Technique, and then it says Potential Ability, Technique Interpretation. And then it says Fushiguro is a melee combo attacker who's versatile in both offense and support, and utilizes Shikigami such as Nu and the Divine Dog Totality. That's really cool. Now, when it comes to my boy Fushiguro, we're not 100% sure how many summonings he's going to have in the game, but safe to say they're probably just going to give him 3. They're going to probably have Nu. They're probably going to have that wolf that he has and the frog. So yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we have for Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. Today we got a lot of information based on these scans, and I'm genuinely curious on what you guys think we're going to have going on in the game, man. Are you guys excited? Are you guys disappointed? Do you guys think that Jujutsu Kaisen has the potential to be the anime game of the year? Please let your boy Aaron know, man, because I'm excited, and I honestly think it's going to be probably one of the best anime games that we've gotten recently. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys enjoyed this kind of content, please just let your boy Aaron know, because I love dropping this content for you guys. And until next time, peace out.